Go ahead. Oh yeah. I was I na 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 da 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 da. I don't know the lyrics. I am so sorry. Time is of the essence. That's all I know. And there you have it. Roleza, you were gonna
All right,
no?
so we are into our interview with Miss Joy Cato at this time. So, Mrs. Cato, are you hearing us? Mrs. Cato?
I'm hearing you.
Karen? All
I'm
right.
hearing
So,
you.
lovely, lovely, lovely. So, good morning to you. Could you position the camera so that we could we could see you? Unless you just wanted voice.
Quick, position the camera. I have no clue what you mean.
Okay, put the phone or the device directly to in front of your face. All right.
Like
Okay.
that?
Yes. All right. Okay. Kwasi, go on.
Quiz?
We like already, yeah? So,
Um,
all right.
can you
It's
come
fine.
back? Wait,
All
no,
right.
she say it's fine.
All right. If once you're comfortable, that's fine. We haven't shown the videos yet, but we are already live on air. So everybody heard you calling out to Kwasi.
It's the life.
It's the life. It is the life. All right. So good morning to you, Miss Kato. So I'm going to take the banner off now. So everybody's going to see your face. Okay. So good morning to you, Mrs.
Okay.
Quick. So and how are you today? All right. So we
Good
really
morning, Roleza and Diana.
Good
Don't know
morning.
Diana,
morning.
but I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Let me all right. I need to get Kwesi. All right. Okay, so Mrs. Kato, you are our interviewee today. And so we just wanted to hear a bit of your story, given that we are in the month of October and it is recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And well, from knowing you personally, I know that you are a breast cancer survivor. All right. But before we get into the meat of the interview today, just let us know who Joy Cato is.
Okay, how do I start this? I'm Jamaican. I arrived in St. Vincent in 1983 or 84, somewhere around there. I have been a teacher all my life. I taught in Jamaica, I taught in Barbados, and I've been teaching in St. Vincent. I became principal at Bishop's College, and there I was until I retired in 2001.
All right.
I have
All
two
right.
boys of my own and two grandsons of my own.
Okay. All right. So, Mrs. Kato, tell us a bit of your story, your journey as a breast cancer survivor. When were you first
Okay.
how did you find out actually? How did you realize that something was up?
Well, it was fortuitous, and it also was a little odd because cancer was not on my radar at all. But I was 50 years old and approaching menopause. My experience with menopause from the women in my family was not pleasant. And I had decided I did not want to go that route. I spoke to my gynecologist and, said to her, I don't want to do this menopause thing. There has to be a way to make it more comfortable. And she recommended hormone replacement. So I read up all the material on hormone replacement, and decided I would do that. However, it required, first of all, uh, um, what you call it in the breast I had to have a mammogram,
Mhm.
and I'd never had a mammogram, so I trotted off to have the mammogram. The mammogram results indicated that I had spots on both of my breasts. So that meant biopsies would have to be done. Biopsies were done, and the on one side, on my right side, the spots were just fatty tissue, but on my left side, I had a tumor. So now we had to be thinking about what to do about this tumor. So that, as I said, cancer wasn't on my radar. I was not thinking that, but this is where we were. So now the next stage would have to be a removal of the tumor to ascertain the state it was, or stage it. They staged it. And it was determined that going forward, I would need to have a mastectomy. So we agreed we would do the mastectomy. So a mastectomy was done, and I was treated. I had um, radiation therapy. I had to go to Barbados to do that because in those days that couldn't happen in St. Vincent. I had chemo, but the chemotherapy was in tablet form.
Hmm.
So I was off work, I think for about 3 months. And each test since that, I have been declared free of cancer. That's the whole story.
Amazing.
Okay.
What when they staged it? What stage was it at that time?
I think a two or three. I am not sure. But
Okay, that's
but hold on. The tumor had developed within one of the ducts, and because it had broken out of the duct, so it was already in the flesh of the breast. So it meant that the breast had to be removed. If the tumor had remained within the duct, they could have done a needle biopsy or a needle extraction or something, so that would not have been so radical. But because it had already broken out of the duct, the entire breast had to be removed. And I think also lymph node or two. It's long ago.
Okay. So you're saying that at the time before going to the doctor, you weren't feeling any pain. There wasn't any indication that anything was wrong.
No, 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 no. There was no pain. There was no.
Yeah. Thank you, Kwasi. Because we don't even know how I had to
That's
get.
why we have children. That's why we have children.
Thank you very much, Kwasi.
And Tucker.
All right.
And Tucker too.
And
Yeah,
Tucker.
so no,
Mhm.
right. At no point was there any discomfort, no pain, no discomfort. The surgery was fine. Oh, and I might add, the surgery was done at the Milton K2 Hospital. Um, my surgeon is no longer in St. Vincent. She was a Cuban surgeon, and it. No, I haven't had any discomfort at all
Okay.
up to
So
this point.
so run me through the emotions that you felt when you discovered that you
Mhm.
you had cancer.
Um, well, the discovery. would have been as a result of the um, mammogram. It started with the mammogram. So the mammogram indicated that there were spots on my breast, both of them, that needed to be examined to ascertain if there was a problem or not. On one side, it was just fatty tissue, so there was no problem. But on the left side, there was a tumor. So then the decision had to be made now how we would treat that.
Okay, so
Um,
during
not ever having had a mammogram, and I mean, I knew what it was intellectually. I knew what it was, but I had heard how difficult it would be, how painful it would be, all manner of negatives. But I did it, and I didn't have any problem with it. Yes, the machine squeezes up the breast, but I mean, it's not for a long time. It's just a short time, and the pain. There's no. Well, for me, there was no real pain.
Okay.
So
okay,
after the diagnosis, then we had to now go to the operation to do the mastectomy.
But how long
Yeah.
was the timeline? What was the timeline like in terms of discovery, then having to do the mastectomy? What was that timeline like?
Days, days.
Mm.
Okay. Um, so I went to see my surgeon when the results of the biopsy were sent to her. So that probably was, it might have been a Wednesday. And at that visit, we decided that we were going to do the operation. We were going to remove the breast. Well, she indicated to me that I needed to have my husband's approval, permission, something so. Doesn't make any sense to me because it's my breast, is not my husband's breast. And I had already decided the breast was going to go. However, since the people said the law required the husband to sign off on this. So I said, okay, but he's signing off on it, we're going ahead. So that was the Wednesday. The Wednesday evening, yeah, I spoke to my husband. Yes, we're doing it. I mean, I got a long story, but that is not important. Yes, we are doing it. We're doing it. So Thursday, I went back to the surgeon to say to her, yeah, we're going ahead. I have my husband's permission. We're going ahead. So I asked, well, when can we do this? And she said, well, her surgery days are Fridays. So probably next week. That no, that didn't sit well with me. So I said to her, this is a Thursday, yes. I said to her, well, tomorrow is Friday. Maybe we could do it tomorrow.
Wow.
She said she didn't know if she had a space on her surgery listings. So I said, call the hospital. She called the hospital and she had one space in the listings for the following day. See, bear in mind that she's a private doctor, but she is also a consultant to the hospital. So the spaces for surgery would have to allow for hospital emergencies or hospital patients, whatever. And then there would be spaces left so that if there were private patients, they would fit in. So she had one. So I said, yes, okay, we're doing it tomorrow. And well, she said to me at that point, well, you'll have to go into the hospital now to do all the preps. So I went in the hospital to do all the preps. And the crazy was at community college at the time. Kwesi did not know what was going on. However, I was in the hospital for Thursday, so when he came, I explained what was going on to him, and it was fine. And she operated the Friday morning.
Mrs. K,
Yes,
so this is all
that
fast.
is from.
I know, very.
Excuse me.
This, no, I'm saying this is all fast. Like everything happened so quickly. What was going through your mind as to why you needed to do it immediately? Like you didn't even wait till the
Mm.
following Friday.
But Roleza, we were talking about cancer. I knew
Mm,
enough about cancer to know that cells replicate very quickly. I also knew, because my surgeon had explained it to me, that the tumor had already burst out of the duct. It burst out of the duct because it grew. And the cells weren't dead. They were going to continue to grow.
mm,
So we had to work as quickly as possible. And as far as I'm concerned, that is vital. When one is dealing with cancer, one needs to work rapidly because we're talking about cells that are alive. They're not dead. These are cells that are alive. And what cells do is grow, they replicate.
mm,
So the entire breast had to go because we weren't sure how far in the breast the cells had gotten out of the breast tissue itself. The cells could have gone anywhere after that. They could have gone into the lymph system, which is why they took out 2 lymph nodes. It could have gone into the blood system, and then it will go anywhere it pleased. So, no, we didn't have time to wait. And just as an aside, I have known friends of mine who were diagnosed with breast cancer. And instead of acting on it, they went from doctor to doctor to doctor to more doctor and more doctors, trying to get a diagnosis that would suit them personally. But
mm.
it never worked. Those friends of mine have passed from cancer. So,
Okay.
yes, it had to be quick. And I would advise anybody who is diagnosed with any kind of cancer to move on it as quickly as possible.
All right. And with
It's
that,
24 years.
Mm. All right,
we are
Diana.
going to take a break right here and then we will be right back. So, listeners, you can take part in the discussion when we come back. If you have questions, if you have comments, you can call and be a part of the program as well. So, we're going to take a quick ad break and then we will come right back.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, are you ready? On Saturday, November 9th, Third Element and Novelle Lay presents Rise Reggae SVG. Live on stage, the gentleman himself, Romain Vogo.
What?
Romain Vogo. From the royal family of reggae, Gramps Morgan.
You deserve the love of a woman like you.
Gramps Morgan.
For people like you.
And the great one, Jamil.
Tell them are the strongest soldiers get the hardest fight.
Jamil.
Lose them soul for game the world. When I switch for the table judge.
Rise Reggae SVG, the concert of the century. On Saturday, November 9th, Victoria Park. Gates open at 8 p.m. Tickets are available island-wide or online at ticketpal.com.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more
That's
for
true.
lower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Just for you at Quartz Optical. Get 15% off. When you bring in your prescription from any other eye care provider, we'll give you 15% off the cost of your frames and lenses. So visit us today and get 15% off. Offer valid on cash and credit purchases. Conditions apply. See in-store for details. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom, whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seats. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat, or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Pack your bags because flights from St. Vincent and the Grenadines to JFK, New York are now available with JetBlue. Ready for your new adventure? Fly from Argyle International Airport to JFK in New York and enjoy super low introductory rates. It's the perfect getaway at the perfect price. Discover the comfort, style, and award-winning service that JetBlue is known for. Whether it's that long overdue family trip, a business journey, or a weekend escape, JetBlue has you covered. Hurry! Seats are filling fast. Book now at jetblue.com and be part of this exciting new chapter in travel from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Listen all day, every day on your favorite streaming platform. The clean, fresh sound. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, and we are back with our activated mornings right here on WEFM with Dianna and Roleza. This morning, we are conducting an interview with Mrs. Joy Cato, a breast cancer survivor. And our interview is entitled HERstory, Surviving Breast Cancer. So you can call us if you have questions. If you wish to comment, you can call us on 457-9997. You can call us direct. You can call us on WhatsApp. We got you covered everyhow. All right. So,
all right, Mrs. Cato, you keep shifting. All right. Much better. Right. Keep it right there. Don't move. Keep it right there. All right.
Which one?
You see half of your face.
I can't.
I know. All right, that's good. Keep it right there. Okay, so we already have a call coming in. Hi, Joshua. Good morning.
Morning, ladies. Mrs. Cato, I would like to applaud your bravery. My wife was diagnosed with cancer 10 years ago, and it was the scariest moment in my life. I said to the doctor, "Oh God, she's dead." The doctor said, no, cancer is not a death sentence. Fortunately for us, well, God was all in it. It was stage 1. And I was there with her every step of the way, every step except for the actual surgery. As I was walking into because we have a state-of-the-art hospital, an excellent service. The doctor said to the nurses, keep that lunatic out of here, because if he comes inside here, the first sight of blood, he's going to pass out. So I was able to be there with my wife all along. I attended all of the, what's the stuff he got after the chemotherapy. I attended all those sessions. And, the doctors had a session with me personally, one-on-one, for over an hour, preparing me for the journey. And I had many sleepless nights. So I know what you're feeling. And for those of you who are out there, I remember when I lived in St. Vincent, people used to be afraid to use the word cancer. They would say the big C. But it is not a death sentence. And I want to encourage you to keep on going on. My wife is a registered nurse. She's back to work and everything. And I'm glad that I was able to be there. It's not an easy journey. Sometimes she'd ask me for a glass of water. I'd bring the water, she'd spit it out. She'd say, this thing tastes like brass. But I was already prepared for all of this. So it's very, very, very good that you have your husband to support you. I just thought I'd call, to make this call to encourage you to keep on going on. I'm hesitant here because I'm all emotional here. But you have a great day.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Joshua. All right. So,
okay.
It was not clear to me what he was saying.
Oh, you didn't hear? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I could hear him speaking, but it wasn't clear what he was saying.
Okay.
So one of you better proceed.
He was mentioning that his wife she was diagnosed with cancer a few years back, and he was saying that he was there with her every step of the way, and he's happy that you have your husband to be there for you as well. And also he was reiterating that cancer is not a death sentence to anyone. So yeah, that's basically what he said.
Okay. Yeah. That is vital to underline what he just said. Cancer does not have to be a death sentence. It doesn't have to be. Yes, it can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay. All right. So, Mrs. Kate, I have a question. So many times for us as women, us as women, we are defined by our physical attributes, right? And having a mastectomy cannot be the easiest thing. Now, your process, you did everything kind of quickly. But what is it? What was it? So apart from yes, the cancer cells multiplying quickly, etc. Did you stop and think that maybe not having your breasts would it make you feel lesser of a woman?
Not at all. How I feel about myself is in my head. And it has nothing to do with how anybody else perceives me. Not a husband, not my children, not my grandchildren, not where I work, nothing. My perception is first off of self. Now, okay, I can understand women thinking about how they appear. However, that cannot be the be all and the end all of it, because there are all kinds of ways that one can deal with this matter. My surgeon had suggested to me that I do an operation to reconstruct the breast. That is possible. They can use cells from wherever they think they exist, the buttocks, the thighs, anywhere that there is a little more flesh. And they can reconstruct a breast. I think they can even reconstruct the nipple. However, I thought of it, and at the time, the surgeon who would do the reconstruction, she also was a Cuban. Did I mention that my surgeon was a Cuban? I don't remember. Anyway, the surgeon who would have done the reconstruction as a Cuban, and she was not going to be coming into St. Vincent for 3 months. So it meant I was dealing with having one breast for 3 months. And I was going to do the reconstruction. But as it was, a bra, a mastectomy bra, has pockets. And the pockets can be fitted with prostheses. So waiting for the 3 months, I acquired mastectomy bras and I acquired prostheses, and I was fine. I looked as if I had 2 breasts. My clothes still fitted the same way they fitted. as far as the outer vision was concerned, that hadn't changed. I still look the same way I used to look before the surgery. And the only time it appeared that there was a problem, and I'm um, putting quotation marks at problem, it wasn't a problem, is when I was naked. And I'm going to give you a joke about that. My older son was in university in the States at the time all this was going on. So he didn't know anything about it until it was close for him to come home. And when he came home and saw that his mother had one breast, his response was, "Oh, well, you could save money because now you only have to buy a half of a breast, you don't half of a bra. You don't have to buy a whole bra anymore." But I am saying that to say the whole attitude in my family was managing this situation. So I am saying, yeah, I didn't feel any less female. And at one time, I kind of thought, in latter years, maybe I should have just taken off both at the time. But it wasn't necessary. I am still healthy as far as I know. So, no, there was no consideration of feeling less female. And as I said, my perception of this person as a female person starts in her head. It's not what those looking on may think. But then I'm old. Yeah.
We're going to listen to the words of the not so old, okay?
All right. So before I was going to ask about the mood in your family at the time of your diagnosis and treatment and all of that, but you've just explained that your family was looking at they're looking at the good in the situation, trying to make things better, not focusing on the bad and the negative aspects. My
Mm.
question is, did you do anything to your diet? So after finding out about the cancer, did you make any changes to your diet, or did you think about changing your diet, or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think I hello. Remember that we're talking about almost 25 years ago, okay? Um I mean, things might be a little cloudy, but I don't
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
Because basically I ate fairly healthily,
Mhm.
generally speaking. Um, in those days, I exercised a lot. I always did. Um, that has been a way of life. I was a dancer. I
Mm.
exercise. I'm pretty active.
Okay.
So I can't say that. No, I can't say that I made any particular changes. But I mean, I think maybe where you're going with this is that it's one's diet that
Mm.
causes cancer. I don't believe that. I believe
Mm.
it could play a part.
Okay.
However, it is cells that we are talking about. Cells. Every single human person has cells that are
Mhm.
alive and that behave in a particular way. Just like how each person, even in families or not, behave differently, I believe, I don't know, I'm not done any research, I'm not quoting anybody, I'm just telling you what I believe. I believe that cells behave how they want to behave. So everybody has cells. Everybody has cells that can become cancer cells. The cells become cancer cells when they start to replicate abnormally. I don't believe we might necessarily have any control over that. So, no, I don't. I wouldn't tell anybody, don't eat that, eat this. I don't know.
Mm.
I
Okay.
think that people would have to decide for themselves how they want to handle that part of it.
Okay.
Okay. And regarding your family, what would you say, or to like a message that you would send to somebody who's going through cancer with regards to family support? Because you're saying that, well, your sons, they threw jokes, right? And you are a humorous person, so I can understand why it is that it happened. But in terms of your mindset to being first diagnosed with cancer, as well as that support system that you had, could you speak just a bit more on that for me, please?
Well, I'm a practical, pragmatic kind of person. I am not the sort, my personality does not allow me to dwell on negatives. If there is a negative or seemingly negative, my attitude would be try to sort it out how you can. I am a religious person. I pray. And I did not say this, but with the cancer diagnosis, my attitude was, Lord, I know nothing about cancer. This is yours. You deal with it. And I didn't stress. There was no stress in respect to this at all. And I think that carries over into my family. I mean, my boys and my husband, we brought them up. And as you say, we are people who are jocular, we could laugh, and we laugh a lot. So I think that were I worried and stressed, they would be too. Because, like both of my sons, once I explained what the situation was, they were fine with it. Okay, mommy, well, you heard Khalil's response already. And, once I was relaxed about the thing, they were also. But they're also very supportive. Whatever they can do, they're not going to help me to cry because I didn't cry. I have other relatives who, when heard of the diagnosis, burst into tears. And, I said, oh, why are you crying? I'm the person with the cancer. Why are you crying? You don't need to cry. So I'm only saying all of this to say that personalities differ. Yes, true. And people will deal with the same matter in different ways. But people need to have a support system, even if it's not family. Because people still call me up because they have been diagnosed with cancer and what do we do? How can we handle this? So I can be a support system. I don't know the people, but I can be a support system. Bottom line is keeping cancer a secret is ridiculous. It's foolish. It is counterproductive. Nobody brings cancer onto themselves. Nobody can be blamed because somebody else has cancer. It doesn't make any sense. And if people are open with it, there is a lot of support around that people can access. And support is vital. Support is vital. The support, the encouragement. So if it's a secret, you can't support because you don't know. So cancer is not a secret. It is not a death sentence. It can be handled. Of course, there are those who are not diagnosed until it's too late. And in that situation, it was a whole different matter. But once the diagnosis is early, it can be handled. And I should mention that women and men need to pay attention to their doctor visits. They need to go to the doctor. There are people who say, well, I'm not going because I don't want to find out. That doesn't make any kind of sense to me. So women need to do their personal examination of their breast. Now, I can only say that they should do that because I must admit, all my self-examinations turned out the same way. I felt nothing. Even when the surgeon identified the tumor and she said, it's right there, feel it. And I felt it and I could feel nothing. So I'm just saying that the prescription is not the same for everybody. So people will need to find out a way how they are going to deal with the cancer. It's there. Oh, and this is Breast Cancer Month. I'm not sure that our men realize that men are also susceptible to breast cancer because they have breast cells. They have mammary cells as well. Some more developed than others, but they too can come down with breast cancer. I just remember that.
All right, so somebody on the live is saying Mrs. Kato has a beautiful mindset. I can sit and listen to her all day. Yes, and you can sit and listen to her all day.
But she will not talk all day.
All right, so Mrs. Kato, we're coming down to the last roughly minute of our interview, and I would like for you to leave a word of advice or encouragement to those of us who are younger women, and as you just included, men as well, in terms of whatever it is that you wish to leave with us at this time, whether it's advice, whether it's being supportive, let's say to persons who have been diagnosed with cancer, whatever word of advice that you wish to leave with us, you can do so at this time.
Okay, well, all of what I said is word of advice. However, I would like to reiterate that cancer is not necessarily a death sentence. Also, there is no need to keep the cancer secret because it's not a secret. Once it is open and out there, you can access the support that you need in addition to keeping in touch with your doctor, men and women. And also, it is vitally important that people understand that prayer works. It works. This is, well, March next year will be 25 years since I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I'm still here.
Ooh, and she just jumped and the life cut when she says, I'm still here.
Know, right?
All right. So, all right. Mrs. Kato left the live, all right? Not intentionally. All right. So this was our interview with Mrs. Joy Kato. This was her story on surviving breast cancer. And I'm hoping that she did share some tidbits with us that are words of wisdom for all of us out there, both women as well as men, in terms of being each other's support systems, in terms of going and getting our regular checks when we're supposed to, in terms of doing the self-examinations, even though the self-examinations may not always show everything that they're supposed to show, because in her case, they didn't, right? So it's just for us to be mindful and be aware of our bodies and do the things that we're supposed to. And I particularly enjoyed hearing her say that having cancer is not a death sentence.
Yes.
All right. It is not a death sentence. It can be treated, especially if caught early. So it's just for us to play our part. All right. So this here
is us leaving. It is now 9:01 and we are heading
out. So I was going to say,
out.
we want to thank Mrs. Kato for being a part of our interview this morning. And we continue to wish her nothing best but God's continued grace over her life and over her health. All right. So thank you, Mrs. Kato. I hope that you look at the end of this into this stream. You look at the end of this stream. All right. But we want to thank you very much for being a part of our interview this morning.
WEFM.